Welcome back to Tai Chi for Health with Terry Hall. Well, congratulations. We've passed the 2-month mark. This is our 9th lesson, 9th week. And today we're going to finish the brush knee series, which will bring us up all the way up to movement number 18. As you're aware, the group 1 movements go up to 19. So the following week, we will finish up the first 19 moves and would have completed all the movements in the first group. Now, I know that the schedule is a little bit aggressive in terms of the speed, but because the semester will continue after this, you will now have time to review from wherever you are, and you don't need to really learn or be exposed to any more technically new moves by me. We just be reviewing the movements all the way till the end of the semester and answering questions that you might have. Okay. Because we have this technology where all the lessons are recorded, you can always go back and review them. Okay. Okay, so let me do a quick review on the importance and how to do the 2 short forms that movements that we showed you. Okay. By now, hopefully, all of you are quite familiar with the sunrise, sunset, touching water right and left, and turning on the meeting axis right and left. Okay. And within the last few lessons, I hope I illustrated and pointed out to you where those movements appear in the various moves that you've learned. So keeping that in mind will help you greatly understand how to do the move, but more importantly, how the move should feel. Okay. And that feeling will come as you become more familiar and more comfortable with doing basically these warm-ups and the short abbreviated forms that I'm about to review. And that'll make your the journey on doing Tai Chi a lot more meaningful. Okay. Okay, so let's review first the first 8 moves. Okay, this is our mini form, which is the first 8 moves of the Yang style form, going from the commencement of Tai Chi up to the first single whip. And when we get to that point, we will finish at a wall. Okay, and then we continue from there, and we'll finish at the next wall. We continue from there again, and next wall, and next wall. And so if we do 4 cycles, it'll complete a circle for you, right? All right, so let's begin by going through the first 8 moves, and then we'll continue to do the first 8 moves again and again, okay, making the circle. Okay, so once again, the basic directions are 4 walls: north, south, east, west, northeast, southeast, northwest, southwest, heaven, and earth. 9 and 10. 4 walls, 4 corners, up and down. So every movement begins at one direction, ends in another direction, and touches different directions in between the beginning and end of each move. And that you need to have very clear in your mind so that you know how to make the letters of the alphabet correctly in Tai Chi. Your handwriting will change after a while, and then you can smooth it out and begin to write cursive. But right now, we're all writing simple uppercase block letters, not even lowercase. Feet together. And when we stand, we do not stand on the ground. We actually the feeling is we're sinking into the ground. And I know you need a little bit of imagination for that. But do that, and it'll help break the habit of you standing on the floor. Okay. All right. So our weight sinks down into our right, which makes the left a lot lighter, and the left can come up, open out, shift your weight, sink down both feet. Once again, to remind you, as we sink into our feet, the weight distribution on each foot is a little bit more in the front than in the back. Okay, so 51, 52% on the pad on the front part of your foot, and then maybe 48, 49% on the heel. Okay. Relax your arms, relax your hands. The motion, you gotta imagine, comes through your body from the ground, through your legs, up through the torso, into your shoulders, down to your elbows, into your wrists, and then to your fingers. So you don't lift the hands with just the arms. Commencement of Tai Chi, let your hands float up to shoulder height. Once it gets up to shoulder height, you just drop the elbow and the wrist rolls in, the palms slide down, the hands turn downwards, all quite automatic, and you settle down by sitting slightly and opening the wrist slightly. And that's the end of commencement of Tai Chi. Next move, grass bird's tail right. We try to repeat at the same level, height, and we shift our weight to the left lightly. And then we're going to turn our hips to our right. As we turn, that will propel our left hand to the corner. Then we turn the other way slightly, and that'll propel the right hand to the corner and bring the left hand back. Then we turn slightly more to your right, and now bring both hands and your foot, because when you turn, that moves the feet as well, to the wall. That's the end of grass bird's tail right. Grass bird's tail left, we shift our way to our right, into the ground, into the ground, into the ground, into the ground, and so the left foot can come up, turn your hip slightly, step down heel, then toe to the wall, then turn your hip slightly to your right, and then back to your left, and as you turn, you pivot on the left heel, and the right foot is to the corner. At this point in time, if you look down, your feet should be exactly in the same position as turning on the median axis to your right. The feet do not cross. Next move, ward off slantingly upwards. So from this wall, we turn to the corner slightly and we shift and we gently touch the corner. We do not reach with your arms. You shift with your body. And then we shift your weight to your left continually and turn your hips to your right. And as you turn, your foot will come around because your hips will bring it around. And then you can put all the weight on your left, you pick up your right and place the heel down, toe down to the wall. At this point in time, you have one front, your right foot is to this wall, your left foot is to this wall. We're going to be going to this wall next. And so we know that the front foot will be going to the wall, the back foot must end up at the corner. And so as we shift and turn, the back foot will pivot on the heel, turn to the corner as you touch the wall, and then continue to reach, turn, and grasp the ball at the corner. And that's the end of ward off, grass bird's tail, ward off slanting upward to your right. Your feet now are in the same position as your third warm-up, turning on the median axis to your left. Hold the ball gently as you sit back. You just let your arms come down, lower the ball. And when you turn, that brings the ball around. And the ball flips over and turn. And you seat it back on your left by 80%. Now let your right arm come up, left hand behind right forearm. And then we gently shift and press. When we finish pressing, you want to be about maybe 55 or 60% here, 45 to 40 to 45% in the back, right here. And we finish here in the press, and then we release, let it float out, let it float down as it sit back. No bent elbows, and set up your hands next to your hips, and then push. As we push, you shift your weight, it goes forward, and your hands go slightly up and out. Elbows are dropped, you do not fully extend your arm. And that's the end of push. Next move, single whip. We leave the hands behind. Just relax and sit back. And then turn and pivot your right heel. And then sit back to your right. Lower your left hand, bend your right elbow, form your right wrist, 5 fingers together, turn your hips to your right. When you turn to the right, you glance at the corner out of the corner of your eye, and then we go to the next corner. So at this point in time, you're about 80% on your right. Then you turn and release 90% on your right, and you continue to turn and touch the next corner 100% on your right. Now, since you're 100% on your right, you can pick up your left knee, turn, step heel, then toe to the wall. Then you roll the ball with your left hand gently around with the wrist. And as you do that, your body will turn and your back heel will kick out, and you finish with single whip. That's movement number 8. And then because it's going to be a short form, we close up here to continue. So you close up, right hand floats to the front, shift your weight, just like finishing up, turning on the median axis to your right. Pick up the back foot, bring it into the ground, into the ground, into the ground, settle into your right, opening, and we continue all over again. Commencement of Tai Chi. Grasp bird's tail right. Grasp bird's tail left. Pivot the back foot. Check your feet. Wall, corner. Ward off, slanting the upwards to your right. Pivot your back foot and the heel. Grasp the ball. Foot position, same as turning on the median axis to the left. Sit back, pull and turn. Shift and press, release. Sit back and push. Single whip, sit back, turn. Pivot your right, sit back, turn. Relax your shoulders, corner, corner. Wall, roll the ball, kick out the back heel, single whip. Now we close up again, and step forward, shift, 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 pick up the back foot, place it next to the other one, bring it up, in, and down. Opening, sink into your right, release the left, open, equal the weight out, both feet sink down. Commencement of Tai Chi. Grasp, bird's tail right. Grasp, bird's tail left. Ward off. Slanting the upwards to your right. Step to the wall, touch the wall, grasp the ball to corner. Sit back, pull, and turn. Press. Release, sit back. And push. Back to single whip. Sit back, turn, pivot your foot. Sit back, turn, relax your shoulders. Unwind, corner, corner, wall. Know your directions. Kick out the back heel. Close up. Opening. Commencement of Tai Chi. Grasp, bird's tail right. Grasp, bird's tail left. Ward off, slanting the upwards to your right. Sit back, pull and turn. Press. Push. Single whip. And that brings us back to the original position where we started. That's one cycle. Do 4, that's one cycle. Okay, so let's do it together quietly. And we just do one complete cycle, and then we'll move on to the new moves. Opening. Close up. Opening. Close up. Opening. close up. Opening. Commencement of Tai Chi. Grass, bird's tail right. Grass, bird's tail left. Ward off. Slantingly upwards to your right. Sit back, pull, turn. Press. And push. Single whip. Check your feet. Front foot to the wall, back foot to the corner, right and left feet separated. Weight distribution, maybe 55% to 45%, maybe 60, and then 40. Okay, somewhere between there is fine. Then from here, close up. 100%. 50%. And on each feet, a little bit more in the front than the back. Okay, so for many of you in the class, I suspect that learning this much for this entire semester will be adequate, be good enough for you. But if you feel like you take on the rest of it, then that's fine. If you want to do that, that's okay. But if you're having a really hard time remembering it, just focus on up to here and doing it in a cycle. Because once you can do the first 8 moves, you just continue doing that for an hour. And you be doing all the movements in the set. Especially you combine that with the warm-ups. And you combine that with the next series that I taught you, which is the Tai Chi walk. Okay, that's what we'll do next. Okay, so once again, I'm going to remind you that the Tai Chi walk differs from the typical walk in that we do not lean. Hopefully, most of you understand what I mean by leaning. Okay, we don't need to lean, so we walk by shifting. Okay. And the step is what we learned before. When you place it down, it may start at the heel, but when you finish, it's going to be a little bit more in the front than the back. And you try to remember you're not standing on the ground. You're not stepping on the ground. Okay, you're sinking into the ground. That's the feeling. That's the imagination or the image you have when you do the move. So don't stand by putting it down on the floor like that. Okay, you put it down and you sink. It's just like if you're standing in quicksand or something, right? Just sink, right? Like that. Okay. All right. So let me face you to review the walking. Okay. Very simple. We start the same. This is the posture for what? The first warm-up. So it should be very familiar how this feels. Opening, right? Sink to your right. Open your left. Shift the weight over. Sink. And when you finish sinking into the ground, you're going to be a little bit more in the front or part of your foot than the heel. So you don't lean back on the heel. Okay. It's just a little bit more. Like I said, 51, 52, certainly no more than 55%. This is how we walk. You stay seated a little bit and shift to your left. Shift, 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 shift. And the right foot can come in, and you're standing now on your left. Pick up your right, place it down towards the wall. Once you just put gently in front of you towards the wall. The heel, then the toe, then shift slightly, 10, 15%, no more than 20. So you know, okay, I'm set now. Then you sit back again. When you sit back again, it loosens your right foot. Okay. And then you turn your hips slightly to the corner. When you turn your hips, that's what moves the foot. The foot does not move on its own. Because I turn my hips, that's what moves the foot. Okay. I turn, opens maybe 15 degrees, 30 degrees to the corner. Then I shift, 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 shift here. And I pick up the back foot. Now, if you watch yourself in the mirror, after you finish shifting, okay, your knee does not bend anymore. So what you don't want to do is don't do this. Don't do that. Try to keep it the same height, same height, same height, same height, same height. So don't make a habit of doing this and then this. Because if you do this part, you are stepping and pressing on the floor. You're not sinking any longer. Okay. These are the habits that I'm trying to instill in you from the get-go, because these are very actually sophisticated motion, okay? And it takes time to develop it. But if you start off with, at least with the idea, and get close to doing it that way, not overdo the pressing or the stomping, right? Then when you get into the form at a much higher level, it becomes easier to acclimate from the outside to the inside, from the external to the internal system. Okay. All right. So that's the important thing. Okay. Don't put it down and step down on it. Just put it down, settle it, and keep it there. And just sink more without stepping down or bending your knee any further. Okay. How high, how low you stand. You really want to stand quite high. You don't want to stand very low. Okay. So once again, it's a Tai Chi walk. My right, but that's your left. This is my left, that's your right. So this is going to be your right. Okay. Sink down to your right. Pick up your left and gently step forward. Shift 10, 15%. Just down a little bit so you know you're going forward. And then your hips, you sit back slightly and turn, and that opens your foot. Your hands and arms are totally relaxed. And then we step to your right. Now step to your left. Left, 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 left. Okay, you can slide the other foot in if you need to. Now you're all the way down on your left. You can pick up your knee. And this one steps forward slightly. You don't reach. You just put it right down, right in front, pointing to the wall. And again, you place 10, 15%. Then you sit back. Then you're going to turn your hips slightly, and that will open your foot to the corner. And then you go towards the corner. Turn, turn. I said shift, 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 shift here. And you can slide the other foot in if you need to. Pick it up. Place it down gently to the wall. Shift forward 10%, 15%. Sit back. Make sure the movement is what? Turning of the hips. Not the foot, not the shoulders. Hips. Then that moves the shoulders, that moves the feet. And shift, 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 shift here. Go right. And you're standing down. Pick up your right. Place it to the wall. Shift forward 10%, 15. Sit back. Open, turn your hips. Then shift, 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 shift. Pick up the back foot. Place it down to the wall. Shift forward 10, 15%. Sit back. Turn your hip. Opens the foot. Shift, 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 shift. Pick it up. Place it forward. Now we're going to step back. Sit back. Pick up your left foot. Step back to your left. When you step back, you're going to step back with a slight angle with your foot. I'm not going to have you step straight back, okay? Just step back with a slight angle and then sit back, and just because it's an angle, your hips are going to turn slightly, right? And then you pick up your left, step back at a slight angle, then you sit back. Because I'm at that angle, my hip was turned slightly to have you settle down in a balanced manner to here. You step back here to your left, sit back and you turn and you settle down here. You step back, sit back and turn, and you settle here. You step back at a slight angle, sit back and turn, and you settle here. Step back, sit back and turn, and you settle here. Put it to the side, shift, close up. Inhale, exhale, inhale. Okay, so go forward, you go backward that way. Okay, I do not want you to use your arms. I don't want you to use your hands. I want you to totally relax this part. No tension at all. If you feel tension here, that means your shoulders are moving you, okay, or trying to take over. Just let it relax. As you exhale, you just drop it. Just let your hands do whatever it normally, just let it happen. If it swings a little bit, let it swing. Don't control it. Just let it flop around. If for some reason you don't do it, but it causes it to come up, just let it come up, so long as you are not consciously moving or picking it up. Okay, just forget your arms and just focus on this part here. Okay, so let's walk towards the wall. This way, our feet are coordinated here. Feet together. Okay, feet are touching, just like the first warm up. Sink the weight into your right. Release the left, pick it up, gently step forward. Then shift 10%, 15%. Then sit back a little bit, turn the hips. Okay, I'll put my hand here to orient where I want. When I turn my hips, my hand will move because I turn my hips. The foot moves as well, as a matter of fact, right? Then we shift, 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 shift. Then pick up your right. Yes, then pick up your right. Step forward. Let me do it again. Okay, let's do it again. We're going to do it now towards the wall, and I'm oriented with you, so everything should work out. And we'll match. Sink down on your right. Pick up the left. Step forward to the wall, shift forward, sit back slightly, turn your hips. Now you sit, step, shift, 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 shift to your left. Okay, release the right, step down to the wall, turn, shift forward, sit back, turn. Then shift, 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 shift to your right. Pick up your left, step forward, turn, shift a little bit, because it's going to go this way, then sit back, corner, turn, shift. So what I want you to do is I want you to focus on where you're stepping. I'm stepping to the wall. I want to move a little bit here. So I want to move here, I don't want to lean, so I have to turn and move a little bit here. Then I move back and I remain this direction. Then I want to go to this side, because I want to go to the corner. Then when you turn, the body turns, and then you go this way. Get up, step to the wall, sit back, go open, shift, 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 step forward, shift, sit back, open to the corner, just slightly to the corner. It's not a big turn to the corner. And forward. We step now, we're going to go back, sit back, pick up your left, step back with a slight angle with your foot, and just sit back. You're going to turn slightly to this side. Because your foot is set away, it'll automatically, your hip will automatically follow that. Then pick up your right, step back at an angle, sit back, and you're going to turn slightly to your left. Pick it up, step back, sit back slightly, and you're going to turn to your right slightly. Okay, that's walking forward, and now walking back. Then we're finishing it up, put it up, together. Inhale, exhale, inhale. Okay, so the important thing is, I don't want any tension up here. Don't worry about your hands, just relax the shoulders. Once anything feels tight, just exhale, relax, and drop that heart. I want you to focus on standing. I want you to focus on sinking. I want you to focus on shifting, sinking. Okay, I want you to focus on shifting here. This comes up, it goes forward. Then it comes back. I want you to focus on turning here a little bit. And that turn moves your foot. Do not move the foot by itself. Okay? Make a habit of sitting back, and when you turn, the foot moves. Then shift, sink, 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 up. Turn, forward. Sit back, turn. Sink, 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 up. Then turn, shift forward, then back. And then open the corner and shift. That's what I want you to focus on. Don't worry about the hands, because when we're doing the next series, the brush knee series, you're using your hands quite a bit. Because of that, you're going to forget how to do the feet. That's very common. That's why I add this walking, so they can get used to how the foot moves, so that eventually your upper body will follow the lower body, and the lower body will not be leading the upper body. Okay, so if you had any questions about that, this is all review, ask. And this is the 3 warm-ups along with these 2 exercises, right? The 4 directions and then the Tai Chi walk are all the foundation you need for doing the form. Okay, and they're all simple, relatively easy to do. And because they are easy to do, you can do them more perfectly. Whereas the other ones are more complicated and it's harder to put everything together at one time. Okay, this is where the fundamentals come in. And once you can feel it, when you do the other move, you recognize the feeling, then you know you're doing it correct. Okay, if you don't get it quite right, and then you figure how to correct it, because the feeling feels, the other move feels like this, then when you make that correction, you're really close to doing it correctly. And that's what you're going to base, that's you check your quality control of the actual movements you do. Okay. All right, let's do it from the beginning. And do it up to brush knee right, and then we're going to do brush knee left, play the fiddle, brush knee left, and that'll bring us to the end, bring us to movement number 18. Okay, and we'll have one more move, and then you finish group 1. Okay, we'll save that last move for next week. Let's do it from the beginning, and then we'll just review the brush knee series. Opening. Commencement of Tai Chi. Grasp bird's tail right. Grasp bird's tail left. Ward off slantingly upwards to your right. Sit back, pull and turn to your left. Press. Release. And push. single whip. Kick out the back heel. Raise your right and step up. Open to the first corner, hands together. Right hand slides behind the left, sit down, gently press. Shift your weight to your right, pivot your left toe to the corner with your left by turning the hips, right? Shift your weight to your left, lower your right hand, turn your hips and look at that back corner there. 5 fingers together, form your right wrist, turn to the second corner, right wrist comes up to that corner as it floats up, because you're going to be sinking into your left, your right knee will come up. Then turn the body, put your foot down parallel, lower your hand, turn your hips, and then shift your weight to your right as you collapse the ball. Single whip. Raise your right and step up, open up to the corner, hands together, right hand slides behind the left, sit down, press. Shift to your right, pivot your left toe, shift your weight to your left, lower your right hand, turn, raise your right, comes up to the front, parallel, hold the ball, lower the ball, bring the ball back as you turn. Now shift your weight to your right as you turn your hips and collapse the ball. That's raise your right and step up. When you finish, your feet should be parallel to the corner. Okay. One more time. Raise your right and step up. Open up, corner 1. Turn your hips, pivot. Shift, turn your hips, block. Turn your hips, strike. Pick it up, down, back, and shift to your right. Okay. Single whip. Raise your right and step up. Open up to the corner. Hands together. One hand slides on the left, sit down, gently press. Shift, turn your hips and pivot your left foot to the corner. Shift to the left, lower your right hand, turn your hips. Look at the back corner, turn your hips to the third corner, pick up your right, bring it around, place it down, hold the ball, turn. Now shift to your right as you collapse the ball. Okay, next move, last corner. Shift all the way to your right, turn to the last corner, and scoop to that corner. Just sit slightly and scoop to that corner. All the weight is on your right. Single whip. Raise your right and step up. Open up. Turn. Shift. Turn. 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 Shift. Stork who's its swing. Turn. Scoop. Turn. Drop the elbow, right wrist comes up to about nose out level, and then inflate the balloon. Stork cools its wings. Single whip. Raise your right. And step up to your right. Stork who's its wings. You're standing pretty much 100% on your right into the ground. Next move is going to be brush knee. The way you do brush knee is what? First thing, relax your shoulder, drop the right elbow. Turn the hips. Switch hands. Right hand up, down, left hand up. Turn your hips. As you turn, flip your hand over, right hand over. Switch hands. Right hand down, left hand up. Left, step forward, turn your hips, and brush knee left. When you finish, same position as turning the Miak's right. This must be correct. Okay, single whip. Raise your right and step up. Stork cools its wings. Brush, knee, left. Drop the right elbow. Turn the hips. Switch hands. Turn the hips. Switch hands. Step forward. Shift, turn. Brush, knee, left. Okay, you do not do this with your hand. It has to be done with the hips. That's why, and this warm up, the other exercise, when I teach you to walk, we don't move the hands because your hands move. Your hips move. Because your hips move, the arms move. Because the hips move, the shoulder moves. Because the hips move in turn, the arm, shoulder, wrist, and palm moves, and fingers. Okay, you do not move like this. Okay, so it has to be done turning, 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 shifting, shifting. You do not reach like this. Shifting, shifting, up, down, turn, turn, sit back, shift, open, step, turn, turn. Okay, it's not your arms. That's why I gave you that warm up with the walk. The hands do make a motion, but it's not where it starts from. That's the end product. It must start from down here, round up, controlling here, and everything else. Okay, single whip. So this is how you remember the sequence. Okay, let me do it for you. From Stork Who's Its Wing, brush knee sequence. First move, brush knee left. Turning the hips. Next move, play the fiddle. Next move, brush knee left again. Next move, brush knee right. Brush knee right. Now we do brush knee left again. And then we do play the fiddle. And brush knee left again. Okay, the sequence then is comprised of 3 moves. Brush knee right, brush knee left, brush knee right, and play the fiddle. Brush knee, there's a brush knee left, a brush knee right, and there's a play the fiddle. 3 moves, three moves in a sequence. The pattern of the sequence is brush knee left, play the fiddle, brush knee left, brush knee right, brush knee left, play the fiddle, brush knee left. How do you remember that? We remember it by making 2 cheese sandwiches. Okay. So my students one term thoughtfully bought me a little ornament. I guess it's like a Christmas ornament or something. And you have here 2 cheese sandwiches. Okay, this is the sequence. 2 cheese sandwiches. How many slices of bread do we need to make 2 plain cheese sandwiches? All right, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4 slices of bread. How many slices of cheese do we need? 1, 2 slices of cheese. And what is the sequence? The sequence is when you make the sandwich, bread, cheese, bread. Then we move over on the counter. Bread, cheese, bread. Bread, cheese, bread, cheese, bread. Move over to the counter, bread, cheese, bread. Okay, that's the sequence. Each slice of bread is a brush knee left. Each slice of cheese is play the fiddle. When you finish one sandwich and you move over to the counter, that's a brush knee right. Okay, stork who's a tween. Let's get the sequence down first. What do we want to start with? Two cheese sandwiches. What do we got to do? First, we need a slice of bread. Brush knee left. First slice of bread on the table. Now we need what? Slice of cheese. Play the fiddle. What do we need next? Another slice of bread. Brush knee left. One sandwich is now complete. We need to move over on the counter. That's a brush knee right. Now what do we need? Another slice of bread for the second sandwich. Brush knee left. And now we need a slice of cheese. Play the fiddle. And we need the last slice of bread, completing the second sandwich. Brush knee left. Okay, that's the brush knee series. Bread, cheese, bread, move over the counter, bread, cheese, bread. Brush knee left, play the fiddle, brush knee left, brush knee right, brush knee left, play the fiddle, brush knee left. Okay, here we go. And the step of left and right are the same, are pretty much the same. It's all done with the hips, not with the arms. Okay. So let's do it from this side first. Stork who's a twins. First, slice of bread, brush knee left. First thing we do, drop the right elbow. Turn to hips. Switch hands. Turn to hips. Switch hands. Step forward and brush knee left. Check your feet. Make sure they're correct. Slice of bread is down. What do we need? Slice of cheese. Play the fiddle. Shift, shift, shift. Pick up your right. Sit back. Sit, sit, sit. Pick up your left. Turn your left palm over and down. Cheese is on. What do we need next? Brush knee left, slice of bread. Turn. Switch hands. Step forward. Brush knee left. First sandwich is now complete. What do we need to do? Move over the counter. Moving over the counter is a brush knee right. Sit back. Open. Step. Turn, switch hands, then shift, 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 pick up your right, turn, step down to your right, and do a brush knee right. Kick out the back heel. Now, what do we need next? Another slice of bread. We moved over the counter, another slice of bread. Brush knee left, sit back, open, step, turn, switch hands, shift, 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 step forward and brush knee left. Now what do we need? We need a slice of cheese for the second sandwich. Slice of cheese, play the fiddle. And now we're ready for the last slice of bread, brush knee left. And that completes the brush knee series. So we're making 2 cheese sandwiches. Okay, how many brush knee lefts are there? Well, a brush knee left is what? A slice of bread. How many slices of bread do you need? 4. How many play the fiddles are there? Well, play the fiddle is what? Play the fiddle is a slice of cheese. 2. And how many brush knee rights are there? 1. Okay, that's moving over the counter. You move over the counter only 1 time. Bread, cheese, bread. Move over the counter. Bread, cheese, bread. Brush knee left, play the fiddle, brush knee left, brush knee right, brush knee left, play the fiddle, brush knee left. Simple, that's it. Okay, let's do it. Now you know the sequence. The real work is how to do the form, the movement, right? So let's just go through it simply. Slice of bread, brush knee left, drop the elbow, turn, switch hands, turn, switch hands, step forward, brush knee left. Slice of cheese, play the fiddle, shift, step back, turn your palm over and down. Slice of bread, brush knee left, turn, switch hands, step forward, brush knee left. First sandwich complete. Moving over on the counter, brush knee right. Sit back, open your foot to the wall. Step, turn your hips. Switch hands. Shift, shift, shift. Pick up your right. Step to the wall and brush knee right. Kick out the back heel. Check your feet. Should be the same as turning your mean axis to your left. Well, we got that down. We can do the second sandwich. Slice of bread. Brush knee left. Sit back. Open your right foot. Step to your right. Turn to your right. Switch hands. Shift, shift, shift. Pick up your left. Turn. Step down to the wall. Kick out your back heel as you turn. Brush knee left. Now we need a slice of cheese. Play the fiddle. Shift forward. Pick it up. Sit back. Flip it over. And place the cheese down. Now we need the last slice of bread. Brush knee left. Turn. Switch hands. Step forward. And brush knee left. That's the brush knee series. Stork goes its wing. Drop the elbow. Turn. Switch hands. Turn. Switch hands. So the first brush knee takes 2 turns. Step forward. Brush knee left. Play the fiddle. Slice of cheese. Next slice of bread. Brush knee left. Turn. Switch hands. Step forward. Brush knee left. First sandwich is complete. Move over on the counter. Brush knee right. Sit back. Open. Step. Turn. Switch hands. Shift, shift. Step. Turn, kick out the back heel, brush knee right. Now we need a slice of bread, another slice of bread. Second sandwich. Brush knee left. Sit back. Open to the wall. Step. Turn. Switch hands. Finish shifting. Pick up your left. Step forward. Turn your hips. Kick out the back heel and brush knee left. Brush knee left. Now we need a slice of cheese. Play the fiddle. Shift. Pick it up. Sit back. Up. And down. Now we need what? Last slice of bread. Brush knee left. Turn. Switch hands. Step forward. Brush knee left. Always check your feet. That's the most important part. Not the hands as much as the feet. Okay. So don't go walking and crossing your feet this way. Front foot to the wall, back foot to the corner. Once you open up and you step, you finish with this one. That's wrong. It has to, you have to kick out to make it to the corner, right? Because that's the position for turning on the median axis right and left, right? When you play the fiddle, it's the same as finishing up this move, the warm up. Same move. This side. Okay, from here. Finishing up, turning median axis right to the right. Same move. Right? Play the fiddle. Same move. Feels the same. Same move. It feels the same. That's what you're after. Not all this stuff on top, down here. Okay. So let's go through from the beginning one time, and then you can watch the video over again to review how to do that movement. Okay. Let's do it one more time before we stop. Here we go. opening. Commencement of Tai Chi. Grasp bird's tail right. Grasp bird's tail left. Ward off, slantingly upwards to your right. Sit back, pull and turn. Press. Push. Single whip. Raise your right step up. Stork Kusa swings. Brush, knee, left. Play the fiddle. Brush, knee, left. Moving over on the counter. Brush, knee, right. Next sandwich. Brush, knee, left. Play the fiddle. Brush, knee, left. That completes 2 sandwiches. Nothing to it. 2 cheese sandwiches. Okay, we will stop here. And next week, we'll review all this and add the last move, which is step up, chop, lock, and punch, and parent close up. And that'll bring us to the end of the group 1 movements for the semester. And then from here on, we will be repeating it to the end of the semester. Those of you who are keeping up and want to move on, then just jump from here, move on to the group 2 movements in the form. Start from their number 1 lesson and then progress as quickly as you like. Right? So thank you very much. We're making pretty good progress online here, and we'll see how everything goes. Just give me a question if you have, give me your questions, and we'll help you along the best we can. All right, bye-bye now.